Hey fans, it's me Aaron for a comic show, and what a week this is. This is the shit, man. Like, what the hell? I actually texted my guy, you know, my tech guy that does this video stuff for me and renders the stuff on whatever the hell that is. I don't know. It's not Photoshop, but it's something like Photoshop. But anyway, I was like, dude, is there any way you can come a little later? Because this is so much new shit that's crazy and it's awesome, and I want to read it all. And let me tell you, this is the best week of comics in I don't know how long. It used to be, what I remember was the first week of the month, the first Wednesday, all the publishers put out all their best stuff because it has a whole month of reorders to get it higher on the sales chart. So, I mean, that makes sense. But, oh my God, this week we have the new Marvel Now stuff, Marvel Now, like right now. We got that, a lot of good stuff there. We got DC kicking ass. We got some great new stuff from Image, like some amazing new stuff from Image. And we got some other stuff and something, the book Black by Black Mass that I'm really, really excited about. And let's just dig in, because this is freaking awesome. Okay, champions. Because the world needs heroes, it's the kids. It's the kids from the Avengers and Amadeus Cho and young Cyclops and the Vision's daughter from that series. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, cool, they have the trademark for the champions back. That's nifty, cool, good on you, Marvel. And it's like, yeah, I guess the mouse wants their own Teen Titans. So, you know, if Disney's like, hey, man, we need a Teen Titans group. We're sick of this Teen Titans Go stuff. We need our own. And, you know, it's Mark Waid, and I give him the benefit of the doubt. Mark Waid's the man, and I've loved everything he's done. So I was like, why do we need this? But it might be all right. And let me tell you, it was phenomenal. This Champions #1, exercised. It's a $5 book, but we're going to be offering it for cheaper. We're going to offer it for $2 in here because I ordered heavy, and I want you guys to read it that are local here. I can't do anything for you guys out of town, but go get yours, and maybe your store will be doing a deal. It is the kids that quit the Avengers, and they have these ideas that the adults, the grown-ups, aren't really doing things right. Violence is the first resort. They never clean up their messes. It's millennial in that way, and I get it. Like, you know, you see the problems, whatever your political bend is on things, you see that there's redemptive violence really doesn't work. And superheroes have been that paradigm of redemptive violence. And these guys, they want to save people, they want to help people, and they want to clean up their freaking messes. And it's refreshing. It's refreshing. And I really liked it. It had a lot of spunk, and it was hip, had verve. I got my thesaurus out to describe it, and I loved it. Moving on, Deadpool Back in Black. Look how 80s this is. This is like basically the Transformers logo in color scheme. And it's Deadpool. And it's Deadpool from when Deadpool's been retconned back into Secret Wars. And if you were an old timer like me and read Secret Wars, you know, the best thing about it was issue 8 and after, where Spider-Man got the black costume, and then that became Venom. Spoiler, you know, from 1985 or whatever. So anyway, this is an alternate history where Deadpool gets the Venom symbiote. And it's bad freaking ass. So if there is a overlap in the Venn diagram of people who like Deadpool and people who like Venom, this is your Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And it was pure fun. And it's written by Deadpool alum Cullen Bunn. That must have been what he was hinting at Heroes Con when he was on a panel I was doing, a Deadpool panel moderating, that he had something coming up that was totally insane, and that's it. It's awesome. Moving on to Death of X. This is great writers, Jeff Lemire, Charles Soule. It's the X-Men versus the Inhumans, which we know is going to be IVX. So it's not an IV of ecstasy or getting an IV so you don't dehydrate from ecstasy. IVX is Inhumans versus the X-Men. And this is where it starts. And this starts, I think it's a year ago. You know, it's been a while since, yeah, it's a year ago. It's been a while since the end of Secret Wars. And we heard that Cyclops did some wacky new stuff. And we never knew exactly what it was. We didn't know where he was. And it was kind of whack. Well, this is it. And it has a death of a character that I truly love. And that sucks. And but the story was cool, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I hope that character's not actually dead. And you know, it's not a spoiler. It's called Death of X, so you have to at least have some context clues that some X's are going to be death. So that's what it is. it was good. It was good. Moving on to the double shot of, oh, and Death of X I'm going to be selling cheaper here too. It's a $5 book. I'll probably be selling it for like, I don't know, $2 or $3. We'll see how I feel in the morning. Jessica Jones and Cage, you know, your little Netflix special. No, these aren't in Netflix continuity. I was just making a joke. This one, Cage, it's Tartakovsky, the dude from Samurai Jack. He wrote it. Awesome. So it's very cinematic. It's animatic, if that's a word. It has a lot of motion. It's really cool. So if you like him, you like Samurai Jack, you like that, imagine what he would do with a Luke Cage that looks like this. You know, a Sweet Christmas Luke Cage, and that is what you're going to get. It's a cool mini, and if you dig it, then dig it. So there's that. Jessica Jones, back to parental advisory, not for kids, big on the cover. And I have a really cool analysis of this that I would love to share, but I worry that it would go towards spoilerific stuff, so I'm not going to do that. With the second issue, I'll be free to talk about the Florida angle of this and how that's really cool. But it opens with Jessica Jones, and this is not a spoiler, this is the first page. You probably got it in that preview already if you read the preview. It opens with her being released from a super prison like the Raft, maybe it is the Raft, and why is she in that prison? And then we flash back to that. We know why, you know, we know things. She's confronted by people, and I'm not spoiling anything, but it is, in fact, the most dynamic thing they could do with Jessica Jones and Cage and all that stuff, and Brian Michael Bendis is kicking ass on it. And Gatos is back, who originated Alias with him, so that's cool. I really enjoyed it. And then this Unbeatable Squirrel Girl original graphic novel, Squirrel Girl beats up the Marvel Universe. It's, you know, obviously an homage to Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe, but it's freaking funny. It's the same team that works on it, the regular series. So if you get this series, you need this. It's an original graphic novel. You don't already have this. And it was tons of fun. I laughed, I cried. I didn't cry, I just laughed. I laughed a lot. It's cool. If you like Squirrel Girl, you need that. There are no options. You either get it this week or save up some nuts and get it later. Moving on to DC, Rebirth has a bunch of new part ones to story arcs that are fun. I'm glad it's in that far in. It's doing great. Justice League, State of Fear Part 1, Unstoppable Part 1 for Aquaman. I'm digging what they're doing with Aquaman. Harley, Undercover Punker, Punk Rock Harley, why not? Let her be everything. Cool, we need the pop vinyl figures for it. Green Lanterns, it's a Halloween time, Family Matters, cool, you know, their family lives, their supporting characters, you know, ground them. They're solo duo characters now. Superman with his son and Krypto escape from Dinosaur Island, that's cool. And then DC's doing stuff with their more weirder characters, like the characters I like Adam Strange and Deadman. Here it is, Death of Hawkman, featuring Adam Strange, and it really harkens back to the Adam Strange series that led into the Rann-Thanagar War series, that led all the way into Infinite Crisis, that I freaking loved. That was my favorite time of DC, and I know that people that work for DC and editorial and whatnot, all the way up to Dan DiDio, have said that was the cherry time for DC, the whole Rann-Thanagar War, the lead up to Infinite Crisis. So if you like Adam Strange, he's there. If you like Hawkman, it's his book, and yeah, it's cool. And it's in continuity. They reference that they were part of the Justice League with Green Arrow and Animal Man, and there it is. And there's a prestige format Deadman book, Deadman, Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love. Anyone want gothic romance? Deadman's perfect for it. Do it, you know. Stay calm, he's only a ghost. So if you like Deadman like I like Deadman, read Deadman. And Midnighter and Apollo, cool. Cover says, we told you we weren't done, you know, that there's more. So yes, the Wildstorm characters are still around, and here is Orlando doing more Midnighter and Apollo, right on. And here's the thing, another young animal, Shade the Changing Girl. Shade the Changing Man was one of my favorite books back in the day with Vertigo. I freaking loved Rack Shade and all that madness, all that crazy, wacky madness that, you know, sometimes it got a little too weird, but I loved it. It was a weirdness magnet. He had his like invest, and weirdness just happened around him. And now he's a she. and it was awesome. So I'm excited about Young Animal. I'm excited to meet all the people from Young Animal at North Carolina Comic Con in November 11th, 12th, 13th. I'll be running the DC panel. Like, seriously, I'm not making this shit up. The DC panel in the huge room, the biggest room, I'm running it, and it's going to be awesome. So there's that. North Carolina Comic Con is in Durham. Durham's a cool city. Here's He-Man, Thundercats. I love Thundercats. I like He-Man. This was insane. It has the two covers, Heroes and Villains, and if you touch the tips, then it makes one complete picture. And yeah, it's, you know, is it gimmicky? He-Man, Thundercats, and it's the same artist, at least, that did Batman, Teenage Mutant Turtles, so the artist is right on. I started reading it, and the most crazy thing happened with some characters, and I freaking lost my shit. I just was like, what the hell is happening? This is awesome. I'm giddy like a little kid again, except I'm cursing. So yeah, it's awesome. If you ever liked He-Man or Thundercats, at least flip through it at the comic shop. At least flip through it. When you get to the pages that I'm talking about, you're going to be like, WTF, this is awesome, and take it to the register and buy it. And moving on, Flintstones. It's been my favorite Hanna-Barbera book, unexpectedly. I thought Future Quest would be, but, you know, Future Quest is good, but it's a story about this immoral thing called marriage, monogamy. Like, seriously, like, God hates dads, all right? And monogamy is a fad that is not going to catch on, that a child deserves, you know, what does it say? A child deserves several fathers and about a dozen moms. You know, like, keep it polygamous. And it obviously is telling the story of satire about gay marriage, saying, like, this is marriage from what traditional marriage as a civilization for the longest amount of time was always plural. And, you know, I don't have the Wikipedia to flow to back that up, but I'm pretty sure that's a fact. I'm pretty sure for the majority of human civilization, there wasn't one man, one woman. I'm pretty freaking sure. Because there wasn't like written word and laws and like, oh, who is your wife? And no, it was, you know, it took a village to get your rocks off in the sex cave. And moving on. Okay, Image, I read this book back at San Diego Comic-Con. It's Skybound, it's Green Valley, it's Max Landis. It freaking rocks. It's a period piece with a twist. I'm not going to say what the twist is. The twist isn't really revealed in the first issue, but the twist was revealed by Robert Kirkman at the Skybound Breakfast at San Diego, and it's awesome, and I'm not going to spoil it, but if you like Max Landis, you need this, and even if you hate Max Landis, seriously, check it out. It's great. Just don't read the last page that Max Landis like writes a whole page saying how great he is and how great his idea was and whatever. But this issue is awesome, and I know the twist. I know what it's going to be, and it's really cool. So, yeah, great. Brian Azzarello, Edward Rizzo, Moonshine #1. This is the team that did 100 Bullets for 100 issues. This is the team that I'm super happy are doing a new long-form series. They should stay together just like Brubaker and Phillips. And it's crime noir in the backwoods, FBI agents versus moonshiners. It's awesome. Walking Dead's out, Paper Girl's out, a new volume of Wicked and Divine. There's so much good stuff. There's a coloring book for Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I'm sure I'm going to sell a buttload of copies to, and people can color in here. I'll even provide the crayons. You just come to the Geek Easy, ask the bartender for some crayons or colored pencils, and he or she will give them to you to use if you bought a coloring book from here. Archie Meets the Ramones is a one-shot that is literally Archie meeting the Ramones. So, you know, hey ho, let's go. And then finally, the big deal book, the book that pre-sold out through the distributor level, through Diamond, that had a Kickstarter that I supported on the retailer level, that the Kickstarter hasn't come out yet, but Black Mass has gotten this Black Chapter 1 out. Black. It's called Black. It's you can see the imagery of hands up, don't shoot on the cover. And yes, it deals with the issues of Black Lives Matters. It deals with the issues of you know, the real issues of things that, you know, you can have your opinion on or whatever. You know, you can have whatever opinion you want as long as you buy comics from me. But anyway, What it breaks from is this is an alternate timeline, an alternate history, an alternate reality, a fantasy element, kind of like mutants, that there are superpowered people in the world. They just all happen to be black. It has something to do with some scientific mumbo jumbo in here that I can't spurt out verbatim, that 0.5% of the black population manifest superpowers. And is this, does this explain perhaps why black people have been so marginalized, attacked, killed, enslaved, all that stuff since time, because the powers that be, the real powers behind everything, want to keep them down, knowing that 0.5% of them will manifest superpowers at some point, probably in their adolescence. And is that why adolescent black people, black men in hoodies, get shot so much? I mean, it is political, but it's a fantasy story. It's a freaking comic book. It's like, what if mutants were only black? There's still not that many of them, and they're only black. How much more hated and persecuted would they be than mutants that could happen to be almost all white? And that's the story you get here. It's only chapter 1 of that story, but that's this story. And I super enjoyed it. I want to have a signing with some of these creators here when the Kickstarter finally fills. And if that does anything for you, come check it out before it sells out. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.